Yippee-ki-yay. Alright, so it looks like we are a go for this. So I am going to start, first of all, while I wait for people to join, by, I don't know, decoding Lupe Fiasco American Terrorist. Now, American Terrorist is just an AT. Now, and if an A is looked at as the first letter of the alphabet, and the T is looked at as the 20th letter of the alphabet, it is a 120. However, we live in a world, a reality, where we don't account for the invisible bubbles that surround everything. So let's just say that we'll subtract 1 from both. Now that 1 becomes a 0, and that 20 becomes a 19. And we are left with 019. 019. Now I keep saying that a 0 is a 1, because in order to depict a one-dimensional line of finite length, it requires 2 dots to contain that one-dimensional line. Thus, a 1 becomes a 3, and if you circle it, it all becomes a 5, and that's very important for understanding Armageddon consciousness, or this 5, in terms of darts, where the board should be rotated so that the 13 is the new 20 in the middle. 20 and 13, 33. You can think of that however you want. So if a 0, which is just a circle that goes around, and a snake that eats its own tail, it is quite obvious that a circle represents a 1. It's a one-dimensional line comprised of an infinite number of zero-dimensional singularities, which are required to make the curve. So, I keep saying that the unification between a 0 and a 1 is equivalent to a 9. Now what happens? American Terrorist is a phrase, Let's just say it's a verse. American Terrorist is a verse. Quite simply, it has been reduced to the letters AT for this example, which have been reduced further to the numbers 0, 1, 9. It is a new 1 because those 3 characters make a 1 by 3. It makes a 1 from a certain point of view. Now, if you understand that the unification between a 0 and a 1 is equivalent to a 9, which is equivalent to balance, 3 things. The 1 that goes around it, which acts as a circle that looks like a 0, around the 0 next to a 1. Now, if a 0 is a 1, reading zeros as 1s, it would become 110, which is quite significant in terms of third-dimensional Earth consciousness versus, Armageddon consciousness, or fifth-dimensional Earth, or whatever dimensional, whateverness, people. So the circle that goes around the 0, 1, and 9 will combine with the 0 and the 1 to create another 9. So American Terrorist, or a circled 0, 1, 9, reduces further to just a simple 9, 9, or a 9 by 9 matrix of creation. And let's just say that perhaps, maybe, potentially, that every now and again some artists seem to depict the truth hidden in plain sight, either by their music or lyrics or whatever, video, whatever, movie, whatever, religion, whatever. Okay? So, because I'm trying really hard not to do copyright stuff, I'm going to play the lyric video, and I will talk / sing the lyrics of this incredibly Kevin song. And we're going to see what's going to happen, because you got to have no fear, guys. Okay? So just whatever your beliefs are up to this point of life, let's just put that on pause for now. And let's take in this alternative point of view of how the song American Terrorist somewhat signifies a 9 by 9 matrix. So maybe we should pay attention, is all I have to say about my observations in Earth. Close your mind, close your eyes, see with your heart. How do you forgive the murder of your father? You gotta learn the dark side, guy. The ink of a scholar is worth 1,000 times more than the blood of a martyr. And all that, guys. We came through the storm, nooses on our nooses on our necks, and the smallpox blanket to keep us warm on a 747 on the Pentagon lawn. Wake up, the alarm
clock is connected to a bomb. Anthrax lab on a W Vineyard farm. Shorty ain't learned to walk, already heavily armed. Civilians and little children is especially harmed. Camouflage Torahs, Bibles, and glorious Quran. The books that you take to heaven and let you meet the Lord there have become misinterpreted reasons for warfare. We read them with blind eyes, I guarantee you there's more there. The rich must be blind because they don't see the poor there. Need to open up a park, just close 10 schools, we don't need them. Can you please call the fire department? They're down here marching all for freedom, burning down their TVs, turn their TVs on to teach them. The more money that they make, the better and better they live. Whatever they want to take, whatever it is. The more that you want to learn, the more that you try to learn, the better and better it gets. 9 by 9 matrix. Now poor Ku Klux Klan, man, see they were all the brothers, not because things the same, because we like the same color, that's green, now that's mean. Can't burn this cross cause he can't afford the gasoline. Now if a Muslim woman strapped with a bomb on a bus, with the seconds running give you the jitters. Just imagine American-based Christian organization planning to poison water supplies to bring the second coming quicker. Nigga, they ain't living properly. Break them off a little democracy. Turn their whole culture to a mockery. Give them Coca-Cola for their property. Give them gum, give them guns, give them young, give them fun. If they ain't giving it up, they ain't getting none. And don't give them all. Just don't give them all, man. Just give them some. It's the paper, because some of these cops must be Al Qaeda. All right. It's horrible what I just did, however entertaining to some. Now, okay. The books that make you go, no, the books that take you to heaven and let you meet the Lord there have become misinterpreted reasons for warfare. Read them with blind eyes, I guarantee you there's more there. Guy. Okay. Alright. Alright, I can detach from that. Okay, I promise we'll not do that again. Unless I should do that again. But I mean, I let some time pass and maybe people came or maybe they didn't. I really don't think they did. But like, you know, what do I keep talking about? Oh, I don't know. We gotta learn about the dark side of the Force. Here's the Force, guy. If you were to divide it, you go like up the middle, let's say. And since my right is opposite of God's right, this would be God's left. That would be God's right. When I'm facing the whiteboard, which is God, with all these markings on it. Now, the dark side would be the left side, the evil side. This side. The side that teaches you all about energy and how to build a battery. Okay? Now, if teaching people a numerical sequence from 56 lines of a 116 lines worth of Genesis 1 to conclude day 7. You know, a 1 plus 4 plus 5, which is a 10. And if you put a circle around it, that's your 11. Your 116. Your 116 lines. That's a 10. Circled is an 11. 116. Oh, it gets better. Because your 10 over here, it's a 1 and a 0. And then on the other side of this 6 in Armageddon, which is a 1 by 5, which is a circled for 1, 4, 5, 6, 0 is a 0. So you're going to have a 1, 0, 6, 0. Okay, you have 2 zeros, a 1, and a 6. It's like you have a 126, because the 2 zeros would be a 2, your 1 would be the 1, and then you'd have a 2, and then you'd have a 6. So there's 126 lines on the first page of the Bible, where 116 lines are needed to finish day 7 of Genesis. Creation, story of creation, of which 56 lines are needed to derive the 9 by 9 matrix of cellular mathematics, because it is a riddle. There is a deeper meaning behind what's on this page than everyone up to date who's read it for face value has interpreted. And I think that's important and worth noting and worth teaching and worth coming up with good things to pass on this point of view. You know, it's still a theory, because until I create that for real and prove that, you can create abundance for all via electricity, via the gold. Okay? The AU. Oh yeah. You know what the universe is, guy? Hmm. Okay. What is it? I want to make sure I'm getting this right. What is it? 128 name of God? What is it? No, what is it 218? Is that it? Name of God? Isn't there some kind of, what is it? 216? There. Okay, it's 216. Okay. Is this the thing? Yeah, the hidden name. Okay, all this means, guy, is the first page of the Bible is where the hidden name of God is revealed. Okay, I don't know what that is. Okay, but all I know is that the first page of the Bible tells you how to make a cellular energy device and shows you that the creation of the luminaries in your sky can be depicted from a certain point of view as though they're magnets stationed inside of another battery where there's a little hole at the top inside the icosahedron and dodecahedron, which account for the two different luminaries required to cause phase shifting of the moon, because on the sixth day we have Venus, Mercury, Moon, and the reason that you see sometimes like a crescent moon on the right versus a crescent moon on the left is because of different destructive interference of light. Okay, there's two holes going to the light in the room in which the battery is in, okay? It's just light can bend in air, and there's a lot of magnets, and there's a lot of moving fields and magnets creating heart fields and things. And light can bend in air, and everything outside of where we live on the inside walls of the beach ball is water, okay? Space is water, okay? It's a bubble. We live inside a bubble of air where a black hole is contained at the center of our bubble. It's that simple, okay? Where all the light comes from in the center of Earth, because we live in Earth. Go watch the Game of Thrones intro if you need a depiction of what that is. Now in the center, that's where all the light comes from, because it's a contained black hole. And there's 14 axes that we don't see inside that sphere. 14 axes with magnets on the end, rotating, okay, on the 6 faces of the cube and the 8 vertices of the cube, okay? Now inside that air bubble, there's more than, air. Air is a lot of stuff. It's all the gases and trace elements, okay? And all the dirt that's on the ground is basically the floaty bits, or whatever sediment that has accumulated over the thing being on for however long it's been on to create whatever it needs to create, chemical reactions. And the definition of a chemical reaction is the inability to reverse said reaction. So we're living in a place with a bunch of stuff, with a bunch of solids, liquids, and gases, okay? Now, if we were to build a battery inside our battery, with the knowledge of our battery from observations made here, because everything looks flat because of the curvature of your eyes. The two eyes and the x, or the VYX plane for third dimensional space. At 5D Earth, you see everything in a two-dimensional screen, but you see three-dimensional objects in it. Congratulations, you have been in five-dimensional Earth all this time. Okay, there is a pattern of mathematics that I believe that if I went through the material and cleaned it up and got rid of all this excitement and mind blasts and trying to not state my story about the wrongness of my paradigm at the time. Okay? It is needed, people, you need the bad people in order to wake us up to the good stuff. Now, the good stuff is, I think, if everyone does what I think I'm going to go venture into with Patreon, then, it just becomes around moving money, and moving money around, and everyone helping out everyone else is basically more balanced than was previously, which means you've left the Earth in a better shape than you had before you got there. So all I'm saying is that if you want to venture on this journey on your own and do your own little analysis, because you have to analyze your word, not just my word. I watched The Life of Brian, and Brian hates everyone. Okay, he wants them all to go away. Guess what? He fell out of a. He was in a room with a bunch of quote unquote Masons. Okay. And they were hiding from the Romans. So he fell outside, the thing broke, he fell, he landed on a podium, and he started talking to a bunch of people and started listening to what they had to say. And hey, look at that, he's not a complete moron. He actually said some sensible things. And he's on a podium on top of it, so he must be correct. Because no one on a podium would ever speak any lies. And then they start following this guy around. At the beginning of the movie, the Genesis 1 of Life of Brian is very important. If you don't remember the beginning of Life of Brian and Genesis 1 of that movie, you will have a hard time interpreting the movie. What happens? Pay attention to the credit sequences. Pay attention to all the stuff at the beginning. The three wise men come across Brian. You know, he was the first. Okay, you can't undo creation. They went there and they said, "We came long and far to make it here, and it's obviously you. Here we are, all these gifts for you because you're going to be something special." You know, all that stuff. And they leave, and then they see this, the gold. They see all the bling, and oh yeah, it must be the bling, right? And they were Indian givers. They went back against their word. And if they believed in themselves, okay, they wouldn't do that. I think that's quite important. Okay, so what happens afterward is this false paradigm gets created with the backing of the people that want to believe and have faith in something and some faith and idea and whatever nonsensicalness that was all of religion and Christianity up to now. Okay, it's not nonsense. It's there's good in it. I know there is, because there is. Makes people happy. There's good in it. Okay, and I respect that. Just don't. I'm not here. Okay, this is another thing. I'm not here to debate what you think you know. Okay, your definition of awoken is considerably different to my definition of awoken. Okay? So, you don't think you live in the battery. You don't think light can bend. You don't understand cellular mathematics. You don't understand how I just found, like this is like the 56, and that's 116 lines, and that's the 1, and then the 0, and the 0, It's a 2, 1, 2, 6, in the Armageddon line, and it needs a name, so I called it Armageddon because I found it in this book, and at the end of this book, they talk about the luminaries again, and why they talk about the luminaries in Revelation 16 is because they're deconstructing the thing they made on the first page of the Bible. Now, I don't know how many pages that is in far ahead, or how many verses, or whatever the hell number that is, but all I'm saying is that it's all rather amusing that these things were given names, and I'm simply just using them in a different sense, okay? I'm taking a different point of view of a word because I think it needs revision. A lot of them do. Okay? And I'm not here, if you need a support group to go through your, wow, just 7 stages of grief of understanding the new paradigm, then do it together. If there's like 10 of you that want to do this, I'll start up your own patrons and I'll start up your own channels where you try to decode your realities. And if you want to look up 85,000 gematria links a day, and you want to share your music and interesting links with other people that are in the same now as you that want to do that stuff, then they'll be there doing the same thing. And you guys could all support each other and everyone. And then you know what I'm saying? If your channel had like 10 followers and you're supporting these people, then they'll have, it grows socially on the web. Like a web, and I'm double face palming right now because I'm actually talking about how things grow when people talk about them. Okay? It's like I'm standing on a metaphorical podium and I just fell from a place where I was hiding. Okay? Life of Brian style. I don't know what more to say. Like, these videos are going to continue to get created, but they're going to go in the raw data file. And then if you want to watch the more Kevin, you're going to have the bigger package that has more Kevin. Okay? The lower price videos are going to be the all at the end of the day when I'm working digitally at my editing and creating new content that is clear, concise, and short without the mind blasts to get it in the way of the message, of the derivation, of the mathematics, and the things I see in it, and the interpretations of the things that I believe need revision. A little bit of passion, not too much maybe, but, something better than what is currently going on here. So, the more I do this for myself, the more I understand what's going on, I believe, or how it's probably meant to be, but some might have different opinions, and that's fine. I don't want to hear about them. Okay, this channel's not meant to do anything except make you understand math, and understand pattern recognition, and understand potentially what this means. Because there's no instructions, guys. Making it up as I go. But I think it's all very synchronistic once you add up all the little things, okay? It's not one thing that makes it awesomely right. It's the sheer fact that there's thousands of little things that are all there for a reason. Maybe they're trying to depict creation and everything, and I don't think that's a bad thing. But I think my time is worth more than going through a bunch of videos and music and all that nonsense and your news. Oh, there's a second hand. And all that stuff. There's better things to be done here, okay? And it's unique. I don't know what else exists like this. You can decode whatever you want to decode about Bible studies, and then understand your literal words in a different point of view to make you feel good. But if you don't look at the numbers, and you're not talking about cellular, and you're not talking about you live in a battery, and you're not talking about like, this, and we can go use different passages in the Bible and decode them and find this in it. But I'm not going to do it all at once, and I don't specifically have anything like the Psalms, whatever, Psalms 18 or something, whatever the hell that thing was that I read and recorded, was all about the fact that people don't get that you live in a battery. And that's about it. And I don't want to be talked down for my beliefs that are different from yours, because I'm totally allowed to have those. And I'm allowed to think that, if everyone's been doing the same thing for thousands of years, wouldn't it not make logical sense that if nothing has changed and things aren't better, maybe it's time to look at things differently? Be critical about why all this fiction that exists is somehow synchronistically created by man with the same pattern in mind. Why are our Roman numerals our Roman numerals? Little things. It's not hard concept. It's understanding math and the English language. And here's the thing about 126. Okay, it's understanding raw again. Again, it's it's a 126. It's like a circled 26. Okay, and maybe if you circle a 26, you got to understand that you need to circle both the 2 and the 6. Let's say. So it's like really like a 26 becomes 28, and like I think 28 is actually like the number for God, because if it's 7.4, then you got to circle the 7 and the 4. Like fly specs, like the G circled with a line, the D circled with a line. That makes the circle, and there's the dot in the middle. They're all the same but different. Circles become 1s, become V's, become X's, become L's, become C's, become D's, become M's when you have 2 of the previous dimension. 2 I's make a V, 2 V's make an X, 2 X's make an L, 2 L's make a C, 2 C's make a D, 2 D's make an M. 2 M's, I guess, make a V with a line on top. Okay, the W and the M that are on the board here, where they intersect, okay, right here, the 13X, 13, 28, 76L, it makes what is depicted in the Da Vinci Code at the end if you have eyes. Where is Mary's tomb? Mary, Magdalene. Oh my God, Dan Brown makes you follow Tom Cruise through the streets, down the line at the end of the movie, and they go back to the Louvre, where the Mona Lisa is, but it's a giant upside down, what is it, glass pyramid with a small, tiny sand pyramid with a giant. It's the giant upside down pyramid created by the big M. It's the giant glass, see-through, windowed, tetrahedroned, flabbergasting window. It's the V. It's the V. Now the chevron from the W, because the W goes up from the third dimensional column to the X, down to the L, and up to the 5, and 3 and 5, with the time in between, reminds me a lot of 3,858 magnets needed to create cellular energy device. But never no mind. The chevron that's created between the 13, 7, and 13 now creates what? A small, tiny pyramid. The W makes a small pyramid in this depiction. The M makes a big. It is exactly what Dan Brown symbolized at the end of the Da Vinci Code. And this is the basis of the Masonic square and compass. The compass center is depicted by the X, where the 1376-13 make the 90-degree angle square. What is 13 plus 76? It is 89. 89 circled to make a 1. Now, where does that 1 go? Does it go on the 9? Does it go on the 8? If it goes on the 8, then there would be your 99. Probably does because it's the second dimension. There's the 0 is the first dimension, the 1 is the second dimension. So to me, it would be in the tens, not the ones. So an 89 would now become a 99. So if this is a 99 and this is a 99, there's 90 degrees in between. There's lots of nines. 56 lines of the first page of the King James Bible are needed to derive this 9 by 9 matrix, and I can show you that, and I will, and I have, and I'll do it again. 116 lines, or the 1 plus 4 plus 5 is a 10, a 1 and a 0 circled, you know. Well, what do I do? Is it a 21 now? Okay, a 1 and a 0 and a 6, a 106. If a 0 is a 1, count 0 as 1, there's your 116. And if you don't count 0 as 1, you have a 0 and a 0, which is a 2, so now you have a 126. Either way it works. 56, 116, 126. Repeating pattern in all of media for all of time. Okay, 38, 58. Repeating pattern in all media for all of time. 35. I guess 503. Thanks to angels and demons. Apparently the Illuminati used to sign things 503, and that's it. Ooh. It must mean Roman numerals. Oh my god, it hurts my brain sometimes. Just think of the O in the middle as a dot, and you have to circle the 3 and circle the 8. Circle the 5. The circle around the 3 and the dot makes an 8, and the dot and the circle around the 5 makes an 8. In a certain point of view, it means 3858. Magnets, 4 types are required to make cellular energy device, which doesn't look like that. That is very basic and primitive. You know, like maybe with the money that the channel would raise, I would buy more constructs and make some elaborate constructs depiction before I actually invest thousands of dollars into something else. If you need to physically, I actually think that's a great idea. You know, how much could it possibly be to eBay a bunch of constructs off, the internet? That'll be enough parts that I need to make enough wheels on all the faces. I'm not going to do the vertices because I don't have, okay, I guess I could shave off some things and just build everything off of a 45 from, I could do it. It's doable. It needs a little creativity, but it's doable. I don't know if the scaling, I don't have curve bits. I don't, we're like splitting hairs here. It doesn't matter. But anyway, actually it does matter for the scale. It probably needs to be done. This is fantastic. Okay, I'm not here to do anything except teach you the numbers. If teaching the theory is one thing. Okay, where am I? I don't even know anymore. Teaching the theory is one thing. Teaching the depictions in media and music is another thing. Teaching the whatever. Not teaching. Okay. There's 5 classes. There's going to be an $8 class, which is just theory videos about math, nothing more. $13 class, we're going to have additional media decodes and creation symbolism because people like that, I think. $28 one is going to have live stream access, and there'll be lots because that's where I can connect with people, which I am not presently doing because I'm having a rant, because everyone needs to understand what I'm trying to do. First, it's going to be a $55 category, which can be all raw data and all my hobby data that I relate to creation code, even how I how I came up with this guy. That's what I want to do. Oh, there it is. Okay. Hmm. This will be fun. How do I do this? Okay. Okay, this is like what I did, and I realized on the first page that after writing this one, because I'm right-handed, and I didn't like writing here because of this, the next time I wrote on this page, and then what I did was I flipped the book, because then it wasn't any more pain in the ass for me. Anyways, so I did like a little bit of like patron perks kind of math, and I think like I do everything cellularly, so it's like, a dodecahedron is kind of like, the outskirts of heaven, and every dodecahedron has a pentagon face. So I thought about drawing a star. Now, normally when I draw a star, I make a 7, and then I go up and down and then over, and I said, let's reverse engineer it. So I start from the 69 of heaven. I go down to the ace of spades. I go up to the middle, past the 6, and then I go down past the 4 of Armageddon, okay, over to where the Earth chills, and then I go over here to like maybe the 4th column where like, they talk a lot about 55s and stuff. And then I go all over here, okay, back to start school, okay, 69. So you're 69, and the bottom 69 is actually here because to make a 9 by 9 matrix, you have a little bit more and a little bit more when you make a heart. And that is when you start to merge the 9 by 9 matrices into bigger and better things, yada yada yada, whatever. So, yeah, and this is cool. Like when you take all the brackets and you add them together, you get 2 of 4, and if you read it backwards, it's like a 402, or it's like a 4.2, or it's like a 42. Answer to everything. 2 of 4 is also like a 7. Okay, Hitchhiker's Code, therefore good. And it's almost 2 times that, 2 plus 2 times that. A lot of twos. And over here, instead of reading it backwards, instead of charging you 110, I go 100, so it's like you save 10. Anyways, and over here, like this one's be like the 444 3-year access, because if $13 a month for 3 years and 444 people do it, I think I have everything I need to create cellular energy. And when I took, okay, all these numbers here are these numbers. Again, I took all the numbers of all the different brackets and I put them all together over here, and there's 10 characters. These are them. And I started reducing them, and like the 2 and the 3 become a 5, and then the 5 and the 5 become a 10. Just keep ordering it from our lowest to our highest. And when you get zeros and ones, you don't touch them anymore. So it's kind of funny that I start with 10 characters, and at the end of it, I got 9 characters. And they're just ones and zeros. So 10 characters reduces to 9 characters. Here, again, 3 of which are circles and 6 of which are ones, so that's like Tesla code, therefore it's good. You can 369. I kind of feel like this is keep it simple, stupid V tiers, because it's like a 5 and a 7. Ving to make 14s at the bottom, or Ying to make a 14 at the bottom, or 13 at the bottom, or Xing to make a 12 at the bottom. Okay, so like you're gonna have the school access, which are just theory videos, no media, none of that. Okay, school access. You're gonna have 4443 year access, only the edited videos, no live streams. Then we're gonna have the tack dog access, because I think that's funny, because if you mirror it in the middle with a line of balance and read it this way or this way, it says dog and cat. And we worship a god, so they must worship a tack. Anyways, includes live streams and all the previously recorded live streams and all my edited videos. No hobby videos. And then if you go up here, Rebirth Access. It's all new videos, all raw data, everything, all the new stuff that I make little tiny eurekas to make new edited videos, whatever. And then the unlimited access, which are all old videos, because you don't need to see these anymore. You need to understand the matrix and how to derive the matrix. And you need to understand how to look for things, and how things like, a song title can be looked at as something different than what it is clearly depicting. Rightio. So, yeah, without further ado, I don't know. Okay, this camera sucks. This has to be changed. Lots of things have to change. Anyway, so yeah, and then I have like perks, and I was thinking like every time you subscribe, I need to create digital media. I gotta create this as like a really nice like PDF or JPEG or something. I gotta create it with my iPad, with my finger. But anyways, I gotta make some digital package for everyone that joins that they can get somehow digitally. The $13 ones, I was thinking like, I don't know, man, like some kind of digital personalized decode. I don't know. I don't really know what to do for those 2 classes. Like the next one, I have some more like interactive live stream aspects, like random decodes, taking suggestions, the yada yada yada. Come prepared, ask questions. The next one I was thinking about like mailing items. Like I'll literally like tear pages out of my book, and you can have the original once I photocopy it, for my records, so that I have it. But like I don't need to have the originals. I don't care. People might want them, or it could just be garbage to them, or like some kind of art project maybe I'll get into to make art but then I'm sending art and I don't want to do that. But anyways, I was thinking more like that lady I used to do for the soul reading. She was doing like
soul readings, and she'd like Google Hangout or call or what's the other one that I have to do? Skyping. That is a thing. Yeah. So she was booking like 15 half an hour long things with people throughout the month and talking about whatever the hell they talk about. I don't know. She does like that stuff. I don't do that stuff, but I could like help you with what you're stuck on or decode some things or confirm some things or fuck, I don't know, guy. I mean, I don't know, guy. So, I wrote kind of like a mission statement in the same kind of like star thing, and I'll just read it, okay? So basically, it's like return to possibility of family living, have an active, positive lifestyle where the distractions of old living fade away, you know, have more free time to explore hobbies of mine and others, produce a high quality gamma of content focused on creation code in all aspects of life, um, plan, budget, raise whatever is needed to create cellular energy device, and my return to what it was like when I was living with my family over at the farm. Forget about the anger about understanding what the Great Deception is actually about and move on. Use the knowledge to attain finances required to complete my tasks. It is obvious what my job is here, so I need to restore faith in others and in myself to change the current paradigm. They will swing eventually. Plan on a return to farming and rural life, focusing on whatever hexagram thing, cellular growth theme to build a functional return to communal living with privacy. Clean up my act, clean up the proofs, make it entertaining, enjoy what I'm doing while not focusing too much on the negativity of others. And that, you know, has a lot to do with you. Understand that you are nothing special, even though there are signs suggesting you are. They are just numbers. And interpret them appropriately. Complete your task. Leave your ego and the egos of others out of it. Fuck them. In the center, I wrote not have to work. Because if I have to work in a kitchen, guy, things get done slower. And I'll just have all that to do. No, it's not like I'm not working. I'm just not working in a traditional sense. I don't know how, like, people like me do this, but, like, I think I can create a battery that can change the world. Like, I actually do. If I had enough money, and it kind of surprised me how much it came, and I can get my own place, and I can, like, whatever, deal on my own schedule, and do whatever I need to do to come back into, like, real life with everyone, and keep doing what I'm doing as, like, a job. Regular hours, maybe? I don't know. I could probably, like, get a printer, learn how to use it in a little while doing whatever it is I need to do, and then, there you go. Start doing it myself, And I don't want to it's gonna be very heavy, guys. It's gonna be very heavy, guys. It's 3,858 magnets, okay? And they're gonna be like maximum 22 mil washer magnets. Like, it's gonna be heavy. It's gonna be a pain to move. I don't want to move this, okay? So, if you don't have faith on how this is done, and several people have done the proof themselves and are kind of like shocked. Like, I was actually shocked when a few of them got back to me, like, privately, and they were saying, like, wow, that's it? And it was like 2 days later, and I was like, yeah, I know. It's like, that's it, because it's all it is. It's just, I don't know. I had nothing to go, I had no, like, baseline or like hints to go off of other than the inception, my interpretation of the numbers that have been purposely put there by man to have us, the goy of life, learn to see because it's always there, and we should be incepting the ideas and eventually coming down to the same conclusion, I assume. Because, like, why are there, like, priests at CERN? Okay, it's like you gotta kind of bridge the science with the faith, I think. But I think the faith in traditional sense is not it. It's not the way it's supposed to be. It's not supposed to be meant that way, and there's a little bit more to, like. Anyways, the book that has clearly not been working for 2,000 plus years in terms of restoring stability to the planet. Radio. Now, if you want to stay in your old paradigm, don't bother continuing with me. I can't force you to believe anything. The only person that can incept you is you. You're the only guy here. Okay, now, again, where was I going? 126 is a circle 26, which is like a circle 2 and a 6, which again is a 28, but you have to count for the original circle. So it's a 28 below a circle. You know? The 26 becomes a 28, but your big circle that we didn't account for that became two bubbles, we did account for. We didn't account for this one. So if you have 28 and a 1, and you read it backwards, let's literally say 821. 821 is what I believe the universe is. Okay? 821. Because 821 is essentially okay, 800. Let's just say it, not say it numerically, but say it in English language. 821. 800 in a bubble and 21 in a bubble. I find it interesting that in Jewish gematria there is no value worth 800. You have 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 900. There's no 800. Okay, interesting. Now what is 21? What's the 21st letter? U. Okay, so we have a U and an 800. Okay, now the 800, because it's not a letter, it is not a letter of the alphabet in the Jewish cipher. Let's take 800 means verse. Now, what did I define a verse as at the beginning of this video? Any combination of two letters or two words is a verse. It is no longer a letter. I took American terrorist. I turned it into, this is so bad. For all of the saying the words that I'm saying and the days that we live in, I didn't make this song. I reduced it to the letters AT. Like an AT-AT walker in Star Wars. To mean 99. Or 9x9 matrix. So an AT-AT. Anyways. Okay. If 800 is not a letter, it's a verse. Now, you verse. You verse. If you're the only guy here, and everything else and everyone else is God, you verse. What is that? You and I verse. Ah. You and I verse. Universe. Okay, well, what's N? N is 14. What's I? 9. 14 and 9 is 23. What's the 23rd letter of the alphabet? W. Oh. So do you mean that you and I must verse? Because you need a witness to be part of your galaxy when you are versing with them. Okay, 216, the name of God, is a fancy way of saying 126 lines of the first page of the Bible, which is a fancy way of saying a circle with a 28 in the back, which when read backwards is an 821, which you have to understand is an 800 and a 21, whereas a 800 is a verse and a 21 is a U, so it's, read it backwards, U verse. And if someone else is there to U-verse back to you, I guess you have a witness. Can I get a witness? Okay, I've decoded why 216 is the name of God. I have gone a little bit overboard with the whole American terrorist vibe. But it's okay, because we're all American, right? Okay, it's your flag. Is the next, it's a bunch of these. Make this from a different point of view, you know? But what does it matter, right? If you don't have faith, what can I say? You know, no one's really had a valid argument as to why all the observations I've made don't make sense. But I guess they must agree that there is an all grand mighty coincidence machine that works, and we're not allowed to question it. Screw that. If there is a randomness generator and coincidence creator, I'm going to figure out the cipher. Okay? I want one of my own. It's all about building a battery. It's understanding the way I see the world from understanding the numbers from that page. No one else talks like me, guy.
No one else has done what I've done from scratch that talks about it. I'm not saying that this is new information, I'm saying it's old information. And the way I came upon finding out what this information is to me embarrassing now because it's old, out of date data from someone searching. I'm no longer searching. I am coincidenced out, guy. I do it, the gematria is for you. I do it for me too, because I still need that connection to the creator of our battery via the jumbled matrix that their battery creates that we live inside of to create my own battery. Don't teach this to the children? You think that there's something wrong here? I'm not talking about fearing the bad people anymore. I respect them. Wow, that the Jesuit order deserves a slow clap. And whatever illuminated nonsense people, whatever they want to be. To me, they're Logans and Anglos. But whatever, okay? They did a good job. Imagine you took a willingly decided to become part of something that you could create your own wealth by understanding the rules of the game and depicting it properly so that it is received well by the judges of life who are on the same plane as you. And the more well you depict creation, the higher you succeed, and then the more people see it, and then it becomes more part of everyone's paradigm. But it's just, they're trying to incept the numbers. They're trying to accept the numbers of creation. Okay? They have you outmoved in chess so badly right now that when you claim to be awake, wow, you're done in like 2 moves, guy. No, you don't see the world like I do. You don't hear things like I do. You don't look at the details. You have to understand the waters. Now, the waters of Hollywood is a blank black set with nothing in it. Everything that's put in every frame and every shot that's taken is everything is there for a reason. The sign is there for a reason. The random things are there for a reason. The words and letters that they capitalize in the credit sequence. There's a lot of time and care that goes into the credit sequence. There's a lot of creation code in every Genesis 1 credit sequence of everything. Okay? That's why there's casting directors. Casting people, they know what names to put for what roles because of probably this. And like, probably they go deeper. Okay? Like, I always love it when it says ACE. Yeah. It's the ace of spades. This is the B, this is the A, this is the O, this is the AB. AB is closest to heaven, they're the most rarest. The B's and the A's were the first generation. The O's and the AB's are the first evolution, okay? The B's and the A's, I guess, one of them, if 2 clans existed, like in the movie 2001, this is the whole reason 2001 exists, okay? Stanley Kubrick. This is the message he tried to interpret, okay? It is the evolution of man, which means that they had to evolve physically. Nutrition, because they were kind of running out of green things to eat. And there were all these tasty, moving little passive beasts everywhere, eating all of the delicious green things. So they had to go, right? And the reason that the monkey understood what a weapon wasn't because of the conflict they had with the other monkeys at the pool prior. It's because of the monolith. And the reason it's because of the monolith is because think about what it would be like to be a monkey amongst that landscape. There would not be a straight edge anywhere. Not one. The concept of something that big and impressive with a clear-cut straight edge high above would be so foreign to them, it would be scary. Now, the iconic shot of the movie is when they have the sun and its crest. Maybe I have it. Sun. Yes. Perfect. This is it. Okay, the reason this shot's important is because what it's creating a crescent on the sun. When was the last time you saw a crescent on the sun? It looks like a bone. Look, you have the moon. The moon is doing this. The sun is doing this. It has a straight edge here.
the halo, the glistening. It looks like there's an invisible one-dimensional line going between the sun and the moon. It looks like a bone. It's the bone that he picks up and figures out that he can use this to monkey bone weapon. Here. Okay? When he starts smashing stuff, okay? He made a connection in his mind, okay? And what I think happened is that this monkey with the bone who understands weapons now becomes what I believe I want to say the A blood type, the alpha male, is created, beating out the beta. Now, if in the first generation there were two types of Neanderthals, the B bloods and the A bloods. Yeah, because that's the loop. B is at the end. The heart is the middle of the center of the heart, and the Mandelbrot set is the final destination. Because you come into the matrix via the four horsemen of the apocalypse, the four columns here that don't really have values below here yet. I don't know, maybe never. You come in this way because this is the path of energy. You do some stuff because it all equals that magic number and whatever on the train. But when you go up, you go down to the diamond through probably this Armageddon diamond, and then you go down through the G, and then you come down through the heart. And this is where you eventually want to end up. I think it goes B A A B. Sorry. Shit. B-A-O-A-B. O is the biggest population. Look at it. It takes up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. It takes up 21 cells. Okay? This one only takes up 12. This one takes up 21. Well, isn't that interesting? I didn't know that till now. The diamond over here would be the small diamond. It takes up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Wow, I'm shocked. 13, 21, 12, and I'm assuming the spade is just an upside down heart. So another 12. Two 12s, guy. Two 12s make it 24. Huh. Near 2100 o'clock. That's a 13. Anyways, see, notice how there's a 13 and 13 here on the X? How hard is it to imagine that the middle is supposed to be 13 in darts? Look, it's 7 plus 5 plus 0 is 13. The middle, because it would be 13, 13, 13 if you know that a 1 is a 3 or a 3 is a 1. And it's a 13 guy. It goes 13, 13, 13. The 13 in darts is supposed to be the 20. I understand you're 33. Okay. I made the derivation that when you rotate the 13 in the middle, the 8 is on the bottom. The infinite knot is on the bottom in darts when the 13 is here. 13 is here because it's the 4-6 split has a 13 in the middle, and the 13 is the 1 plus 3 plus the circle around the 13, which is a 5. And I found out that there's a 1, 1, 4, 5, 6, 0. I figured them all out in the other thing. Whatever, okay, it's important. 3. Anyways. I just want to cry sometimes. 13 is circle 3. Then you have an 8 down here, which is circled. The two circles make an 8. There's an 8 here. There's a 3. And there's and it's a 5. 13's a 5. Anyways, 3, 5, 8, 5. Just like the amount of players in foosball is 3, 8, 5, 8. And just like pool. Think about pool, okay? When you use the proper sequence of number that goes 1, 0, 8, 9, 2, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, and the rest of for pool, when you start racking the thing like that and you turn it one way, you're going to lead with the 14 ball. The 14 ball is going to be the new 1 ball in the rack. And you should not be breaking with the cue ball, you should be breaking with the 12 ball. Now, what happens there? You have a 12 ball, which is a 3. Okay? It's going to hit the 14 ball. A ball hitting a ball is an 8. A 3, 8. 14 is a 5. And a 1 plus 2 plus 1 plus 4 is an 8. 3, 8, 5, 8. magnets needed if you properly rack your pool table to break with the 12 ball off of the 14 ball. And in this configuration, the new 8 ball is now the 6 ball. Because you're not talking about the vertices, you're talking about the faces of the cube. And it makes sense because you know why? The table is green. It has green felt on it. And your leading ball should be the striped green ball. And your final ball, or the new 8 ball, should be the solid green 6. It's like seeing the trees from the forest, guy. Okay? That's how you're supposed to play pool. It makes sense to use the 12 ball as a cue ball because when you're curling it, you can see it. You can see the spin. You can see what you did wrong to correct it. When you're using a cue ball, you don't see the spin. And it would be extremely useful to see the spin. Do you feel me? Yes? No? Maybe? Like, anyway. I don't even know what I was supposed to be doing here right now. Talking about the patron thing, whatever. I'm going to make 5 different categories. The more Kevin you want, the more you have to donate. It's going towards research to make a battery, okay? I'm going to make educational videos about numbers, not about what I think anything is. Just about the matrix and how to derive stuff, and why certain numbers I think are important. Like, Sesame Street gives tribute to all sorts of bunch of numbers and letters. Can Kevin? Maybe I'll choose to use music and movies one time to do that. Maybe I'll choose to use something from mythology, like how 216 is the name of God, and I think that needs revision. The name of God is you, okay? To someone else. To all the other people, you're God. But to you, you're the only guy. To me, I'm the only guy. It's lonely. You verse to nothing, conscious, is boring. Me versing to the dog and cat and whiteboard and the records in the room and all the movies in the room is working, but very slowly. It's like participation, guy. You need to get a participant ribbon for trying. It's needs a witness, and that witness is you. I'm not here to fool anyone. I'm not like a snake oil salesman here. I'm a pretty smart guy and pretty clever. And this wild and crazy Czechoslovakian guy. Okay, when I start to get silly, maybe I should go check and see what people might have to say about stuff. It's cool. It's all for you guys. Okay? A kid doesn't need to see $55 videos. A kid needs to see the $8 videos and the $8 alone. Until I do a whole bunch of Disney decodes and show you how creation is ever present in the animation movies of the first animation movies ever made by Masons. They have 33 Club. Maybe there's creation code in there. Wow, I'd be surprised. The only reason I haven't touched Disney movies is because I think it'd be too much work. You know how easy it is to create numbers with animation? How fast it comes at you sometimes? How crazy animation can be sometimes? Like, I'm sorry, I'm still a little scarred from Dumbo, okay? When Dumbo gets drunk? Ooh, what is that all about? Why was that made? What are the numbers in that scene? Like, don't even want to go there, guy. Just like I didn't want to do Da Vinci Code and Angels and Demons, but, as fate had it. It came up in my universe because someone versed it to me, and I was like, I gotta check that out. But, yeah, we're doing things like, I would love to explain how I think darts works, and how darts, I believe, when you rotate it with the 13 properly, it now becomes a north and south. And they're just rows and columns. Okay? That's it. It's like, I want to cry all the time. But I can't. I don't know if I have tears left. So, get it? Like the middle column, the top part would be the 13, the bottom would be the 8. It just means like this is like and then there's like fans out. Like it's a 4-6 split with the 13 in a minute, and after the 6 it goes 10, but when you actually turn it in the wire,
it looks like it goes 0, 1 because you've rotated the 10 so it's the other way. Am I think I'm speaking the correct tongue for this audience. I don't know. Let's go see. So like, yeah, yeah, okay. So like, yeah, revealed. Woo, whoa. Oh, well, everything's God and everyone's God and I'm the only guy here. Wow, my paradigm's blown. No, let's like wait for a savior or the powers that be to say I'm sorry and treat us all better. I don't advise you hold your breath, but I'll try. I gotta try once. I'm letting out breath by talking. I shouldn't be talking when I'm holding my breath. Who is this person? Why are you staring at me? Go away. Go away, you. So, like, good. There's nothing. That is awesome. Okay, so I'm here to talk about, like, why I'm gonna start a Patreon. And that's what I get. Fuck this. Okay, so like, at this point, all data will be priced equally into one bin for a low price. I'm creating as I go, wow, of $110. Because, yeah, there you go. There is no more savings. I am not creating for free. Wow, what a failure. I hate YouTube. This is a shameful. I'm disgusted. So I'm done. I'm done. You guys you're screwed. This is insulting. Yeah, good. I'm glad that people didn't stay up for this. So, wow. I must be lying. People are. Hmm. Doesn't matter. Wow. Reminds me of Jewel. Ah. Only you. And you have to put effort into it. Look, there's that whole song. People living their lives for you on TV. They say they're better than you and you agree. Wow. Yeah. Hold my calls from behind those cold brick walls. It feels like I'm talking to brick walls. Yeah. Come here, boys. There ain't nothing for free. Wow. Who will save your soul if you won't save your own? Okay, so I guess the consensus is fuck you, Kevin. And that's cool. I'm. You guys are definitely totally 100% awake. I'm glad of your awakeness, guy. So, cheers. Huh? Like that?